Is my dude Charles Barkley ever wrong? It's hard to say that I agree with someone 100% of the time. Some of you guys have been following me on the channel since the beginning. We might agree most of the time, but there are times that we don't always agree on a specific issue. With Charles Barkley, I can't think of one time, at least recently, that I have disagreed with something that he said. Anytime he says something newsworthy, which happens every week, I am typically in agreement with Charles Barkley. Last week, he said that Zion Williamson looks like he and Shaq had a baby. You can't argue with that. The tenure of David Griffin in New Orleans has been an unmitigated disaster. I can't sit here in hindsight and tell you that it was a mistake to draft Zion Williamson over John Morant. At the time, the decision was a no brainer. I supported it. But here we are, over 2 years later, and it was a mistake to draft Zion Williamson over John Morant. It was a mistake to draft Zion Williamson, period. John Morant is building something in Memphis. John Morant does what he is paid to do: show up every night and play basketball. And oh, yeah, win. Zion Williamson's not worried about helping the Pelicans win. He's more worried about the all you can eat buffet they have down at Harrah's downtown New Orleans. Zion Williamson is lazy, he's uncommitted. I'm not putting all of the problems in New Orleans on Zion Williamson. David Griffin's the main problem. He hired Stan Van Gundy, a coach notorious for not getting along with star players, especially young star players, in a star driven league. In the NFL, it's all about head coach, quarterback. In the NBA, you cater to your star players. Both Zion and Brandon Ingram made it known they wanted Lonzo Ball back in New Orleans. And what does David Griffin do? Trades him to Chicago. It has been one mistake after the other. I haven't watched a Pelicans game all season, and I don't plan to either. We are less than a month into the season, and it's already over for New Orleans. But anyway, let's get back to Charles Barkley. He interviewed Kevin Durant last night on TNT. The topic of social media came up. Kevin Durant, as you guys know, he is a maniac on social media. The dude loves it. Katie enjoys stirring the pot, calling out trolls. There was a time, especially in his younger years, when Kevin Durant took everything personally. He would allow total strangers to get under his skin on social media, and the same with the mainstream media. But after he won a couple of titles, things don't seem to bother Kevin Durant like they did in the past. Now, that also comes with age and maturity. Once you reach a certain age, you stop giving a shit what other people think of you, especially losers on social media. And that is mainly what is on social media: losers. I'll prove that to you in just a second. I've told you guys several times that I believe social media is a disease. It's not real. Lonely dudes troll Instagram all day, sending their love and sometimes their money to young women with pictures that have been photoshopped to death. Facebook. Facebook used to be a platform for college kids. When I had Facebook 15 years ago, you had to have a university issued email address to access the site. Today, the user base of Facebook skews towards older people, mainly older women, soccer moms, posting pictures of their kids that others pretend to care about. And then you have Twitter, the social media equivalent to the Chaz zone in Seattle last summer. If you want to see the worst mankind has to offer, look no further than Twitter. I used to enjoy Twitter. 10 years ago, it was the best social media platform. But Twitter has been overrun by social justice warriors. Just like everything else SJWs take over, they take something that us normal people used to enjoy and they destroy it. SJWs don't have the ability to create, to build something, but they are experts at destroying it. Charles Barkley feels the same way I do about social media. He told Kevin Durant that he is anti social media. He said there is a natural animosity towards people who are successful. On social media, Bobby the Bastard, who's mad at the world because his daddy left him as a child, pimply faced Bobby can say whatever the hell he wants to Charles Barkley. No one cares. If Charles Barkley responds, he will be vilified. It is a lose-lose situation. So he sees no point in being on social media. Charles Barkley doesn't hold back when he's on national TV. So behind a phone screen, where you're tempted to say whatever is on your mind without worrying about immediate consequences, Charles Barkley knows he would have nothing but trouble if he was on social media. Kevin Durant claimed that in his position, there's no hiding from social media. The NBA has embraced online platforms better than any other sports league. I think partially to their own detriment. Only hardcore fans watch the NBA regular season now. The casual fan, they just check for highlights on social media. I also believe a large part of Adam Silver allowing the NBA to embrace social justice last summer was him reacting to what he saw on Twitter and other platforms. And it's not just the NBA that allows social media to impact their decisions. Many large companies base their trajectory off of social media data. Rob Manfred, he saw the reaction to the voting rights bill in Georgia move the All-Star game to Denver. Bet he never makes that mistake again. Rob Manfred learned the hard way what I'm about to show you. If you are a business or you're running a sports league, it makes no sense to base decisions off of social media reaction. Credit to NBC and Outkick for the data I'm about to share with you. 69% of adults use Facebook, 27% use TikTok, 27% avoid social media altogether. That's me. 28% use Twitter. Of those platforms, which holds the most influence on political, social issues? Twitter. Twitter has more influence over politics and sports than all other platforms combined. Just think about it. When you're watching Fox News or MSNBC, CNN, ESPN, do you ever see them reference a Facebook post? No, sometimes, but most of the time, they're sharing something from Twitter. It gets even more interesting when you see the political demographics of the people who regularly use Twitter. Most users on Twitter lean left, and I'm not talking about Bill Clinton left. I'm talking about far left. These are not your grandfather's blue dog Democrats. Twitter users lean far, far left. We're talking Bernie Sanders, AOC, that crazy woman in Minnesota who escaped from oppression in the Middle East to come to America and try to implement the same oppression she escaped from. Right now, Joe Biden's approval rating is 38%. On Facebook, it's 42%, basically within the margin of error. But on Twitter, Biden's approval rating is 58%. 38% of Americans have positive feelings about Donald Trump. On Facebook, 36%. On Twitter, 19%. It doesn't take a brain surgeon to figure out the leanings of Twitter users on issues like the COVID, social justice, defunding the police, Aaron Rodgers. Essentially, Twitter represents about a quarter of the population. You remove the few normal people that use the platform and just account for the SJWs and others on the left, and Twitter represents about 10 to 15% of America. With that being the case, why the hell would the NBA, Major League Baseball, other large companies, why would they allow reactions on Twitter to influence their decision making? It doesn't make any sense. By doing that, you're alienating over 80% of your potential customer base. What business that wants to remain in business would allow this to happen? If Adam Silver is wondering why NBA ratings are in the pooper, here's the answer. If ESPN is wondering why no one watches the ESPYs or Woke Take or Sports Center, there is your answer. How can 10 to 15% of the population have this much influence over some of the most powerful people in the country? Look at some of the pictures of these SJWs on Twitter. Some of these people are as attractive as a goat's ass. If they have a job, it's usually something like blogger, dark web moderator, parking lot pimp, social media activist. I don't get it. I just don't understand it. This is why Charles Barkley is anti-social media. He has 2 years left on his contract with TNT. He says he's going to retire. I don't believe it. I do think Charles Barkley will leave TNT, but he's not going to just fade into the background. I think in 2 years, we're going to see Charles Barkley unleashed. He's alluded to the fact that he's been muzzled at TNT the last few years. Woke executives have taken the fun out of inside the NBA. Charles Barkley will leave TNT, get out of the corrupt media. I think I think he's going to start his own platform, podcast, YouTube, something where he can say whatever the hell he wants. And he will succeed because Charles Barkley is authentic. Normal people, the 80% of us, we are attracted to authenticity because there is a severe lack of realness in mainstream and social media. All right, let me know what you guys think. Give me your thoughts on the modern social media landscape. Are you active on social media? Sound off in the comments below. Make sure to like and subscribe. Click the notification bell to receive all notifications from the channel. Best way to contact me is by email at btlkc84@gmail.com, kc_btl84 on Twitter. I'll see you guys later.